Hello, I'm Laura. It's Thursday, February 26th, 2026, and these are today's Heartlines. Our theme for Heartlines this week is Let Love Be Genuine. And today we are including a sentiment that Paul wrote when he wrote that letter to the Romans, in which we find that statement, when he gave another universal message. Be transformed by the renewal of your mind. And the mind is renewed when it is anchored in the wisdom of the knowing heart. And that wisdom is what we are awakening as we look at what has happened in our lives and world over the past few days. For example, a couple of days ago, President Trump in the United States gave the State of the Union message, and in it he spoke to the economy of the United States and indirectly to the affordability for all of us. Oh, he said many things and made many promises, but we all know that when we hear such speeches, we need to look a little deeper to what is actually so, to the grounding in the facts of what is being said, whatever the emotional sentiment might be. You see, it takes both mind and heart, the knowing heart. So let's look at some of what was said. Yes, the economy did grow in 2025 by 2.2%, a rate at which it has been growing for a while. And yet it slowed down a little at the end of that year and the beginning of the new year. And unemployment remains low from the previous administration, but job creation has been slow, and small businesses have struggled with the tariffs that have been put into place, and job loss has actually been on the rise with the closing of government agencies. Inflation has slowed from last year, but the expense of daily necessities remains high. Things have been getting better for the wealthy, but more difficult for those living paycheck to paycheck, creating a K, the letter K, in the economy, with one line going up and one line going down, and a wider gap between the wealthy and the poor. And so this is our economy presently in the United States, and I'm sure we're not alone in experiencing some of these things. So what do we do in the face of such an economy, especially when we have dreams that are unfolding, when we have ideas of what we are being called to be in our lives and world? For example, buying a house. What do? We turn to the wisdom of the knowing heart. The wisdom of the knowing heart sees with the mind and knows with the heart. It sees the facts beyond the fiction and knows the truth beyond the facts. It works with what is so to create what is possible. We have only to choose two things: to take time in silence to awaken the wisdom of the knowing heart, and to follow through on its guidance, on its wisdom. And so we're going to begin that process right now in a silent moment, focused on a special thought. So let's take a deep breath and close our eyes and hold this idea in our hearts. Guided by the wisdom of a knowing heart, I choose the way to go, and I go the way I choose. Guided by the wisdom of a knowing heart, I choose the way to go, and I go the way I choose. And so it is. In the booklet put out by Unity, well, let me see if I can find the front page here. Release and Reimagine. Today's message by Reverend John Bierman for Lent says, I reimagine wisdom. Wisdom comes by surrendering egoic thought and asking Spirit to guide your path. In the asking, wisdom emerges, and it invites us to go into the silence to awaken that wisdom. Myrtle Fillmore called our inner wisdom a knowing heart. And so, in that wisdom of the knowing heart, we are guided in what to do, and we can do it. And even if it leads us to realize we need to go in another direction, that is how wisdom works as well. By life, by experiences, and by the inner knowing, the intuition and wisdom of the knowing heart. In Proverbs 24, we read, through wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established, and by knowledge are the chambers filled with all precious and pleasant riches. The wisdom of the knowing heart leads us in the directions we need to go to discover what is possible for each of our lives and for our world. Thank you for joining me today, and have a wonderful day.